You're going to discover the 4 fastest ways to make money in real estate in this episode of the Wholesaling Daily Show, coming to you live. I'm Dustin.
I'm Josh Blanchard.
I'm Corey Chasson.
And we're the Wholesaling Daily Show. And today we have a fun topic of talking about, we've boiled it down to, for us, the 4 fastest methods of profiting in real estate. And we're talking here in a matter of hours sometimes. And some of these are going to be very creative strategies that you've probably never heard of and that you've never done. So make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed, because this is going to be a very unique video that will combine elements of real estate that have never before been combined in one video.
Yeah, that's true.
So we're going to start. First thing you need to do is rob a bank. No, because you're going to need some money. Now let's talk about how to do this with very little money, actually. And so obviously one of the first ones we're a fan of is wholesaling. Yeah. You know about wholesaling because, wholesale channel, a lot of people are talking about it. And why is wholesaling fast? Well, first off, if you have a property under contract today, say I'm buying your house, you want $100K for it, we do the contract for $100, and then I have a buyer that will pay $120, and then I make the $20K on the contract. So that's an easy way to make $20K. Now the time frame on that is going to depend on, first off, how good of a buyer's list you have and how good the deal is. So we've done these things in as little as, 7 days?
Oh, yeah.
So we've done these in as little as 7 days. And depending on your buyer's list, sometimes it can happen within hours. Mm-hmm. And it's really important to have that buyer's list. So wholesaling, obviously one of the fastest ways. And if you want to learn how to do that, we have obviously these videos here to show you. But we want to dive in and talk a little bit about some creative strategies that have had some really good profits for us in a very, very short amount of time. So the first one that we'll talk about, which we've talked about before, is tax deed investing. How to buy a tax deed and sell it and profit from it fairly quickly. So right now, as we've mentioned before, there's these things called over-the-counter tax deed properties. And a lot of people will say that these are junk, that there's not a lot of good properties there. However, if you really roll up your sleeves and just start calling counties and asking them what happens to the properties that don't sell at the tax deed auction, then that's what's in their inventory. And those properties are available to go and buy immediately, like today. There's people all over today buying properties from the county, and many of them will buy them today and even sell them within the same day. And one of the strategies that I've done before is, looking at the over-the-counter tax deed properties, going and talking to the neighbors of the lot that I was interested in and saying, hey, would you be interested in this lot for $2,000? Because I know I can go and buy it from the county for $500.
Don't tell them that, though.
Yeah, I won't tell them that.
Yeah.
So forget that strategy.
Don't tell the neighbor that you're going to tell them.
Oh, I thought you meant don't tell them.
Oh, no. Yeah, don't tell the neighbor that you can find it cheaper at the county.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, don't tell the neighbor.
Yeah,
I thought, we're going to keep some secrets here. We have no secrets.
No.
But that's definitely one strategy that a lot of people won't do because it does require a little bit of work. But I can guarantee you, if you spent a couple hours a day for the next 7 days just calling tax deed counties and asking them what's in the inventory, you're going to find something that you'll be able to go and turn over. Now, odds are going to be that it is a small lot that you're going to go and be able to sell. But the beautiful thing about these over-the-counter deeds is you can buy them for just a couple $100 sometimes and go sell them for $2,000 or $3,000, making a 5 to 10x multiple on what you picked it up for. So that's a very fast way. And we also have a couple other ways here that will lead you into. Josh, why don't you share with them some of the experiences of the quick money you've made with the secret strategies we're revealing.
Yeah, sounds good. So what we did once before in Philadelphia is there's a tax deed sheriff sale there. So people that don't pay their taxes, their property goes to the auction, which happens monthly, and they've got so many properties that go every month. The great thing, though, is that you've got 30 days before you pay the balance of the property. So let's say you win the bid for $10K, you put down your deposit, and then 30 days later, you'll come back and pay the balance. So there's going to be this waiting period in between. I mean, a lot of states do that too. Ohio does that, where you pay a deposit and then you pay later. So any kind of sales like that, what you can do is assign the contract. So you can assign your interest in the property. And in Philadelphia, there was this guy who wanted a house. And I mean, the auction might be 2 hours, it might be an hour and a half. But for some reason, this guy had to pee really bad, and he couldn't wait any longer. So he exited the room, went and did his business. And during that time, we actually bought this house. And so everybody's bidding, and it moves quick. It moves fast. And sometimes, you might think you've got 5 minutes before your property is coming up, and it might happen way sooner. So this guy, he was off on his timing. We won this bid for a property, and he really wanted it. And we actually got it at a price that he was willing to pay a little bit more. And so right there at the auction, within 25 minutes later, after getting the bid, we had talked to this guy and did the paperwork and assigned the bid to him and made $1,000. And so we didn't need to do anything. We just put down the deposit. So he gave us the deposit money and also gave us an extra $1,000 cash. So we did that instantly. And there's going to be a lot of scenarios where you can do that. I mean, I think there's a couple other states too, or even any kind of mortgage foreclosure sales, you're going to have time to pay off the balance. And so there's another opportunity to assign the bid. I think there was a student too in Philadelphia who did that as well, where he bid on a property thinking he was going to have funds to pay it off, and then his investors backed out, and so he was able to assign his bid to someone else and make a little bit of money too. So that's making $1,000 instantly, which was cool.
I was in New York at I think it was the Albany sale years ago, and what happened is there was this house that went up for auction, and this guy bought it for $5,000. So it was like $5,000 house. It was kind of run down, but not too bad. So he goes and he wins the bid, and then he actually pays for the house. And then about 15 minutes later, like 12 bikers show up, like in their friggin' biker jackets and their patches and all this sort of stuff. And it turns out that this house is actually right next to their clubhouse, and they wanted to bid on it. However, they were a little late for the auction, and they doubled the guy's money. So nice. I watched them pull out like a stack of cash. The guy signed it over, and this guy made like $5,000 within just a couple minutes. It was pretty wild to see these bikers roll into the old auction, and this guy did pretty good off it. So that's number 3. We're at 3 here. Yeah. And this next one is a very unique one, specific to tax deed sales, because as you know, one of our favorite places to invest in the past has been Texas tax deed sales. And one of the things that we liked about Texas is they have an auction every single month. So the first Tuesday of every month in Texas is the tax deed auction. And this is great because it can allow you to have a constant flow of tax deed properties coming through. Now, the thing you need to know about Texas is when you buy the property, you get the deed the day of. However, there's a 6-month period where the homeowner can redeem you. And what that means is they would pay you back how much you paid for the property plus 25% interest. Now, one of the things that we've done a few times is after we win the bid and while that redemption period's going, we go and we rent the property out, oftentimes to the people who are already in there as renters. Do you want to expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, so in the state of Texas, you get all of the rights to the property. So even though there's a 6-month redemption period, you can still get rent, you can still collect, you can evict, you can do all of those things. Because a state like Georgia, for instance, there's a 6-month redemption period. Actually, it might be a year, and you don't have any rights. So it's really cool in Texas that you have the rights. So let's say there's some renters in it, and you go and you show the receipt, for the auction, and then it's up to you if you want to either go through the process to evict them or collect some rent right away. And so there's been a lot of times that the day of the auction, we'll go and collect rent and get that really quickly, and so you're getting interest on your money ASAP, and then you're either going to get the property or they're going to redeem it, and you'll get 25% interest, which is going to be a phenomenal return in 6 months. I mean, you can't beat that. There ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, yeah, you can beat it. I mean, but it's great. That's really it. Yeah, or you could even try and sell it to them right away. So there's tons and tons of different options with collecting cash ASAP in tax deed sales.
Yeah, so those are four of our ways that we've used on this. And once again, it comes down to just doing the work, rolling up your sleeves. For the wholesaling, you know that you're going to have to do some marketing. You're going to have to just call some Craigslist people, put up some bandit signs, send your mailers, and do that stuff consistently every single day. For the tax deed stuff over the counter, you're going to have to roll up your sleeves and just really call the counties and see what they have. It's going to be discouraging at first, or you might hit it right away. But the reason these are often don't get bought is because a lot of them are junk. However, in many of these smaller counties, there could be 30 properties and only 5 people show up. So you'll probably have better luck in some of those smaller outlying counties. And if you have a question about this stuff, go ahead and ask it in the comments. And anybody that has a question gets entered to win one of these sweet modern REI shirts that we have, as Josh is repping right now.
Yo.
So ask a question. If you're new to us on YouTube, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Podcasters, just leave a review. We'll enter you to win one of the shirts. So we'll see you tomorrow on the Wholesaling Daily Show.
Ciao.